Three, two, one. Welcome to Esthetician Unlocked with Elaine Sterling. I am keeping it real, and you have been in the E-lane with me. And you know what? We're going to keep you in the E-lane. We really are. Because I have something to share and something to say, and I'm going to take you on this ride. Period. Right, Tamara, how are you?
Wonderful, Elaine. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Welcome to the E-lane. I'm so glad and so excited to have you on our podcast, Esthetician Unlocked, and this is all things beauty, and so I thought you were the perfect person. So Tamara, tell us a little bit about you and what you do, and you and I have been in this industry for 100 years, but tell everybody else about you.
Yes, we have been in this industry. It feels like 100 years. I just thought about it. I was like, I came into this industry in 1995.
Oh my God! Wow!
And I'm going into my 30th year next year.
Wow.
I think that's 30, right? Oh my gosh. I'm like, we're definitely veterans in this industry. So I'm Tamara Shealey. I am the senior advocate of politics, beauty, and barber. I am the lead organizer for the Concerned Beauty and Barber Professionals. So we are a 2-in-1 organization where we address the need for higher continuing education standards in our industry, in addition to looking at policy state to state that affects beauty and barber professionals. So we've been around for quite a number of years. We actually began our efforts in 2011. But prior to that, I was a nail technician. I did services myself, and I owned a salon for 10 years. So I'm a veteran in the industry, and I'm very passionate about that piece of paper that is more than a piece of paper on the wall. It is our life. It is your livelihood, and it's something that we have to work to protect.
So there is a lot going on in the beauty industry right now. I don't even know where to begin, right? And I'm like, let's just sit down and get the tea going. So what is your biggest concern, or some of your biggest concerns right now for the beauty industry?
The attacks, the blatant attacks on our industry. Let's talk about, why they're attacking us. When we look at this industry, we've never truly been organized. We're artists, right? We love what we do. We just want to get behind the table, get behind the chair. We just want to provide services. We just want to be the best of ourselves. That is who we are at our core. So, but what we don't look at is the world around us. We kind of get this tunnel vision, and we're just in our lane and doing our thing. But the world around us, everything is political. Everything is political. The water you drink, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, the car you drive, and this industry is political.
My fellow Americans,
fellow citizens,
My fellow citizens.
So we don't have a footprint politically. We're just, again, in our lane. So when we talk about the problems that we have, these attacks are coming at us politically because, again, we've never been organized, and that's just not how we're wired. But we have to start to look at, what's happening in politics. And let me just give you an example. 2015, I'm going to read from our website. 2015, our organization, we tracked 308 bills. 2016, we tracked 343 bills. 2017, we tracked 409 bills. 2018, we tracked 355 bills. 2019, 266 bills. 2020, the pandemic, 658 bills.
Wow, man. Damn.
2021, 784 bills. 2022, 431 bills. 2022, 431 bills. 2023, I'm still working on the numbers for that. Just know that every year after year, bills across this nation are introduced, and we're not at the table.
Well, yeah, sometimes they seem to introduce these bills in the middle of the night, right? And so we don't even know, how can people find where these bills are and when they're coming out? What do they need to watch?
Well, you have to be organized to do that. So we have a tracking mechanism.
Right.
So we as an organization, we pay for. So we have to, this is data. This is information, and this is data that we are, we give to our members. And this is, again, how you organize. When you have this information, what do you do with it? And until you come together and work together to fight this stuff off, it's like I call every state a battleground. In every state, there's something going on that affects the license and affects the industry. So what happened here in Georgia, SB 354 last session, was a disgrace. But this was not the first state. This was actually state number, I want to say 6. We're the 6th state that this has happened to, where we now have individuals who are able to go out and open up these blow dry styling bars. That means anybody off the street can go out and now shampoo, blow dry, and style hair with no licensure.
And this happened in Georgia, correct? So this affected Georgia and some other states as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
5 other states, state number 6.
Right. And so as far as Georgia goes, they only really passed bills, I think, is it January through March? Is that it?
So this is where, again, civics isn't taught to the extent that it needs to be taught in our school systems in those former years. And every state is different. Every state legislature is different. Georgia convenes in January, adjourns in late March, early April. Texas is one of those states where they don't even have a legislature every year.
Wow.
Nebraska has a unicameral. They have one chamber. So every state functions uniquely different. Some things may be similar, but we have to understand the political landscape in our states in order to really effectively fight all of this.
Exactly. And so what did they pass this year? So it was you didn't have to blow dry or shampoo, you didn't need a license for that. And then did they take out lash extensions as well from our license?
Bill, that was 354, that was specific to the blow dry styling bar. So we're looking at some legislation coming up in next year's session where we will address lashes, we will address waxing. We have some town hall meetings that we're getting ready to start this coming Sunday, where we're going to actually bring beauty professionals to the table. This is our industry. So what happens is, and respectfully, we need our schools, but beauty and barber professionals have to have a voice. You
Right.
can have schools that have a voice. You can have just our manufacturers and distributors, they can have a voice. But beauty and barber professionals, we are the root of this industry. There is no industry without the professionals. So we must have a voice.
Exactly. And I think that, we're fighting so hard for our space, and I think somebody got it into their playbook that, we don't need to go to school to do what we do. That this is a quick way to get to the job market, for lack of a better word, But I mean, I've been an esthetician since I was 18, and I still go to school, so I definitely know how skilled you need to be an esthetician, a massage therapist, a nail technician, and I certainly couldn't cut somebody's hair. I don't even think I could blow dry someone's hair. Even that's a skill. So I'm sad that they keep attacking us, and I guess at my school and at the school level, what we try and do is, churn out seasoned, trained professionals so that they can see that, this is not, this is a career choice for me, and I think it was definitely a career choice for you. So, and I definitely think associations are huge, and I do really feel that all licensed estheticians now, all beauty and barber should belong to an association, so that they know what's coming down the pipeline, they know the rules and regulations. When I spoke to one of my students today, and she said, well, what do I need besides, my license, besides my esthetician license? I said, well, if you're opening a salon, you need a salon license. Oh, and then you need a resale tax ID. Oh, you know what I mean? And so there's so much that they need to know. So I said to her, your learning just begins when you leave the school. This is now just the beginning. So they definitely need more information. So tell me about your association. What do you offer licensed professionals?
So we do Monday school, and Monday school is every second and fourth Monday for 1 hour, where we have something we were able to garner back in 2015, 14, we have a federal alliance with OSHA and Georgia Tech where we get up-to-date continuing education information. So we're not just walking the walk, we're talking the talk. We have people that come on and bring us up-to-date information. We have this federal alliance where we get some great information. And then on the other side of our call, we come together and we talk strategy, because we have to work together state to state. Again, this is these attacks have to be attacked, because what's happening in one state, we can see whether it's going to happen in another state, or there's some similarities, or there's something we can do to stop it. So we talk strategy. And again, this is how we stick together, stay together, and work together. So again, we do Monday school.
And when is the next Monday school?
It is this coming Monday.
And then is that just for people that belong to your association?
Our member advocates, yes. The seriousness, people that are serious about this, care about this industry, we come together and we work together, yes.
And so I see that you now are a lobbyist, right? Mm-hmm. So why don't you tell everybody what a lobbyist does and what a lobbyist does in this industry?
Yes, so, I actually was a lobbyist a decade ago for this industry. So when we started out, I lobbied because we had a continuing education bill here in the state of Georgia, and I realized that it would take somebody on the inside to actually continue to knock on those legislators' doors, to have those conversations, and to keep trying to get, the support we needed for our continuing education legislation. That I actually was able to testify in a Senate committee, and the bill actually made it to the Senate floor. So I understood the process from the inside, and then really started to focus this last decade on advocacy for our industry. So there's a difference between lobbying and advocating.
Okay.
Advocacy is where we as a collective come together and we work together again to advocate for what we want or what we want to fight against. Lobbying again is more, again, on the inside, knocking on those doors, having those one-on-one conversations, those meetings that a lot of times you're not privy to, or, it's a different approach. It's a more up close and personal approach. So now I have re-registered as a lobbyist on behalf of our industry. But again, it takes both. We have to advocate as professionals, as a collective, as a group, and then it takes us actually lobbying and being on the inside as well.
So did you just have your town hall, or is that coming up? Tell us about your town halls that you do.
So the town hall, our first one is actually going to be this coming Sunday and Monday. Our Sunday one is in Conyers, Georgia, and our Monday is in Grantville, Georgia. So this is where we're calling it, this is where we're trying to get Georgia to continue to fight, because we took a serious blow as an industry in Georgia. SB 354 was literally a disgrace. It was a slap in the face. Georgia has 97,000 licensed professionals. Let me say that again. 97,000.
Wow. And that's across all barbering, cosmetology, aesthetic. 97,000.
And that doesn't count the students at your school and many of the other schools around the state. Like these are we're 100,000 strong.
Well, this is licensed professionals we're talking about.
Yeah, but think about the students that we're engaging now in our industry. We're forced to be reckoned with, and that's power, unwielded power that we haven't. Again, our goal is to harness that power. Let's all come together. Let's light this fire. Let's light this country on fire as an industry. We should, again, be a force to be reckoned with.
Right, and I think that, technicians or, artists, therapists, they get so busy in the treatment room and I just want to go home, right? But that's kind of when the work begins. I always say it's like, well, you're working in the business and on the business, and you have to as a business owner. But yeah, they just slid some bills in the night, for the school industry as well, which we were all shocked about. So we have to be aware. So what do you think they're going to bring out next year? Have you got any ideas on what they're working on right now?
Well, I don't like to speculate, but I can say that what we're looking at, is the nails right now. For example, nails. There's the funding for student aid with nails there's an issue with that, with the hours. So we're looking at, okay, where could they attack us next? But again, we should be always on the offense and not always on the defense. We should come to the table and say, this is what we want, this is what our industry should look like, instead of us always trying to fight off these attacks. It's we're just, it just frustrates me because I'm like, we are just too powerful of an industry to keep always, being on the backside of what somebody else is doing to us. Too powerful for that.
Right. And so you started out as a nail technician. Did you train in Georgia?
I did. I'm a native Georgian, but again, our efforts are nationwide because we understand that if we come together on a state-to-state level, we can definitely address some of these federal issues. But it's hard for us right now as an organization to even give too much to the federal initiatives that are attacking or that we should be supporting our schools with. It's hard. We haven't even organized on the ground.
I definitely think Georgia needs a state initiative, a state, association. I know you are as an association, which is good. And we definitely need to come. I mean, I know that there are, in other states they have a state association because there's the PBA and there's what else is there? The one out of Chicago, the beauty. I'm not sure what it's called, but there are a lot of associations out there, and they handle things on a national level. So I kind of feel like Georgia, we need to get together and handle things at a state level. I went to the state, for the blow drying, and I also stood before I don't know what you call that, the committee, I guess it was, and I found almost like they looked down on us. That's how I felt. And I'm just talking about my experience, you know what I mean? And I didn't know whether it was just because, we don't know the political game or they have a system or what it was. But I felt we were just kind of going through the motions and they weren't really listening to us. That's what I felt at the time. So, because I got an SOS call to go down there and we did.
They do look down on us because, again, we're not organized. Think about it. Some of your other quote unquote professions, your attorneys, your doctors, they have professional organizations and they work in a capacity where they work together. They call us low hanging fruit. They got little words for us. We're easy pickings because we're not organized. And again, we're artists and we're not paying attention. Where other quote unquote professions, they're paying attention and we should be as well.
So, what should they do to get involved? How can they contact you or join you? What does it cost to join your association?
Our member advocates is $99 annually, and our professionals is $199. So it's not a huge investment, but it's a worthy one. Again, that licensure is something that we have to work to protect. It's something that we have to come together and make sure that, again, we shouldn't always be on the defense. Let's come up with initiatives of our own, and we can define our own industry for ourselves.
Absolutely. And what is your website address? How can people get hold of you?
politicsbeautybarber.org, politicsbeautybarber.org.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we will make sure that we also put all that information out there, and I'm sure they can also find you on social media, right? The same one? Politics Beauty. Is that the same on social media?
Yeah, it's on Instagram. It's THE. It's just put in Politics Beauty or hashtag Politics Beauty and Barber, and you'll see all the postings. That's usually how I encourage people to find us.
Thank you so much for that information. Let's get involved. Let's get together, and let's make sure we protect our licenses. That's the most important thing, because the deregulation is always, like you said, hanging over our head, what they're going to deregulate next, and everywhere in the world they go to school and they have to learn, and so we shouldn't be any different. Well, I thank you so much, Tamara. I thank you for coming on and letting us know this important information and how we can move forward and make our industry stronger.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Thank you.